First of all, DJ Charlie Chase, definitely a pioneer in hip hop culture. And all respect to him, Cold Crush Brothers. But I'm going to use this video to make a specific point. You can't celebrate the first, the one who kicked down the doors for Puerto Ricans, the one who shattered the glass ceiling for Puerto Ricans in hip hop culture as a DJ, and there not have been an existing black culture. Those two things don't go together. It's fine to celebrate, yeah, you know, he's the first Puerto Rican to do it. But there's an existing culture that he's the first one to do it in. You have to choose one. You can't have both. Either it was 50-50 or it was blacks and Puerto Ricans together, or he was the first to do it and it was black culture to begin with. All right, so let's watch this video.
Bronx, what's up, people? How we doing out there? Man, it feels great to be back home, man. You know how we do, man. If it ain't funky, it ain't right.
Happy hand, yeah. Stomp the feet, yeah. 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 Swing on the ground.
This is not an example of what he played early on. He wasn't playing these Latin versus hip hop type mashups. A better example of what he sounded like, this would have been in the 80s. All right, just so people understand that he wasn't making Latin hip hop mashups when he first started. All right. DJ Charlie Chase is a Puerto Rican DJ who rocked the Bronx with his hip hop beats. He helped Latinos make their mark in the early hip hop scene. He is a hip hop pioneer who influenced many other DJs and artists.
This one goes out to everybody who loves that Latin funk like I do.
Chase is one of the founders of the Cold Crush Brothers, a group of MCs and DJs who are pioneers of the hip hop. All right. Chase rocked his hair and his music with Puerto Rican pride. He spiced up his set with Tu Coqueta. I don't know what that song is. I wish I could find out what that is and listen to it. A song that represented his culture. He said that was how he opened doors for other artists to express themselves. He was one of the first, and that was his legacy to hip hop. He remembers sneaking in the beat from the number Tu Coqueta right in the middle of a jam. I'm jamming. I throw that sucker in, just the beat alone, and they'd go off. They never knew it was a Spanish record. And if I told them, they'd get off the floor. Even the other rappers couldn't tell because the salsa cuts seemed to fit in so perfectly. It was great. I would sneak in Spanish records. So he's sneaking in Spanish records. If this was a culture that was created by these two groups of people equally, he wouldn't have to sneak in any Latin records, right?
Every time we'd go somewhere and me and Tony would go together. They would say, hey, they will make announcements, DJ Charlie Chase and Tony Tone's in the house. So people would come over to say what's up to us, but they'd walk over to me and say, yo, Tony, what's up? Because they knew Charlie Chase was bad on the 1 and 2s, but they figured the black guy was Charlie Chase because they couldn't picture a Puerto Rican rocking the 1 and 2s the way they heard it on the cassettes. And Tony would say, no, I'm Tony. That's Charlie. And they'd have this stunned look on their eyes like, really?
So, of course, people listening to these cassette tapes assumed that Charlie Chase was a black DJ because that's all there was. And so they were surprised that he was Puerto Rican, right? So again, you have an existing culture, an existing black culture, and people are surprised that a Puerto Rican is involved in it.
You know, like for real, they don't believe it. They wouldn't believe it until they actually saw me play, and then they accepted it then. But the problem that I was having with that was that I was getting a lot of pushback. There was a lot of prejudice in the sense that the blacks were telling me, you know what, man, go back to your cowbells and your music. You know, you don't belong here. And then the Hispanics were telling me, what the hell are you doing, man? What are you doing playing that Jungle Bunny music? You know, and I was getting criticized by both sides. What are you doing? And you know, me, I always stuck to my guns. I never listened to what anybody said. I put on my blinders and I focused and I said, this is what I'm doing. Whether you fucking like it or not, this is what I'm doing.
So there was an existing black culture which Charlie Chase was magnetically attracted to and joined in. Some people didn't like it. Some people fought for him to be there. But you can't have, it was a melting pot. We all did it together. And Charlie Chase's story make any sense, right?
We're not talking about your sister. We're not talking about your father. We're not talking about your uncle. Or not your mother or other MCs can't deal with us because we are the born on the colors on the top making fire. You know we got a funky song. So won't you come and sing? So won't you come and dance? So won't you come and sing a dance along? You know the 2 DJs on the wheels of steel. Charlie Chase is on his phone at the top of the field. Listen to the competition, better be for real. We rock a party to the break of day. And this is how it sounds. And this is how it goes. And this is how it sounds when we play. So by now you should know what we're all about. It's on the floor, number 1, and that's no doubt. We guarantee to qualify and turn the party out. We give you what you pay your money for. While we rock you with a, while we shock you with a, while we rock you with a, rock you with a.
That's it from me, y'all. Thank you very much. I love y'all. Peace.
Once again, people, make some noise for the one and only Charlie Chase.
I wanted everybody to know that I was Spanish, rocking, ripping shit up in a black market. And he was in a black market because he was in a black culture. For me, it's the Latin point of view. You see, what I emphasize is that I'm Hispanic in a black world, not just surviving, but making a name for myself and leaving a big impression. Everything that happened to me was always within the black music business, and I always was juggling stuff all the time because I had to be hip, I had to be a homeboy, but I also had to know how far to go without seeming like I was trying to kiss up or something, or he's just trying to be black. I'll rock this, you know, and I practiced, I broke turntables, needles, everything. Now Chase came because I'm like, damn, you need a good name, man. And Flash was on top and I was down here, so I was chasing that nigga. Now, anytime I hear a non-black person use the N-word as a term of endearment or familiarity or casuality or whatever, I just assume that they grew up around black people. I assume that they grew up within a black culture. Otherwise, the only other option is to assume that they're just racist. How else could that word have entered their vocabulary? I mean, I hope y'all not gonna say, Well, he's Spanish, and the word is a Spanish root word. So he's saying it for that reason. All right? He's saying it because he grew up and was acculturated into black culture. So Charlie Chase, the first Puerto Rican DJ in hip hop, has made it so clear that it was a black culture he was a part of. Okay? There was an existing culture, and Charlie Chase was the first Puerto Rican to kick open doors for Puerto Ricans. He's saying it so clear. What type of argument can there even be against that? This is Guian Bluford. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but he's the first black astronaut, the first black man in space. Okay? Now, we couldn't celebrate this man as the first if it was 50-50 black and white astronauts from the beginning. But we celebrate him because he broke through the barrier. Same with Charlie Chase. You can't have it both ways. Same as this, man. Salute to him. Salute to Charlie Chase. It was a black culture to begin with. All right, peace. Just one more thing. I wonder if Cologne and Adrena consider themselves niggas.